So at the end of February, Johnny Depp made a surprise appearance at London's High Court as he sued the Sun over a column branding him a, ooh, what's that? Now this gets a little bit more in depth with it too, telling you that the Star's libel claim rises out of a publication of an article in the Sun, April 2018, under the headline Gone Potty. How can J.K. Rowling be genuinely happy? Casting, you see that descriptor very, very prominently, Johnny Depp in the new Fantastic Beasts film. Now, of course, there were claims that was removed later on, but you think about the damage that is done with this. I'm happy to see Johnny Depp moving forward like this, because you know what? This type of cancel culture nonsense, it has to be challenged. It doesn't matter what hashtag you throw in front of it. It doesn't matter what type of lynch mob that you put together on social media. Wrong is wrong, and this stuff, it was based on rumors, innuendo, and all of that stuff. It looks like it's falling apart. So hey there. So today we are returning to that wonderful world of news coverage. And as I said earlier, I'm glad to see Johnny Depp fighting back. I mean, if you look at some of the articles from the last year, for example, you have people repeatedly taking aim at his career and trying to cost him everything. Here, for example, is USA Today talking about the backlash that he received when he was on Fantastic Beasts, with people wanting to get him removed. He was saying, hey, this is falsity. This is not real. And you know what? That lynch mob, they didn't seem to care. Companies not so subtly back away from the man too, as you can see in a discussion like this from The Independent. Johnny Depp officially dropped from Pirates of the Caribbean, Disney producer confirms. Now, if you look at the statements about this, of course, none of those statements are going to mention what's going on in the surroundings, but any of these articles, they go out, they bring this up right away. I mean, Depp's appearance in the recent Fantastic Beasts sequel, The Crimes of Grindelwald, was heavily criticized after. So you have this stuff. It's right there, and it's costing the man money. And well, when you have the media pile on, don't they need to be accountable? Now, when I say fighting back, I mean not pulling any punches either. And that has to happen if you're going to change anything these days. Here's Johnny Depp's lawyer talking to Mail Online in response to the hearing. He says, when the Sun's own reporter, Dan Wooten, refuses to stand up and testify in support of the falsehoods he's written, calling him out there, the named hashtag, you can't say this hashtag either. Isn't that lovely? Source for the Sun's defamatory article is testifying against them. So their own source is saying, yeah, that's not right. And AH's own personal assistant has been subpoenaed and will testify against AH regarding her trial of abuse, lies, and fraud. What is the Sun to do to keep the hoax alive? Today we learned the answer, cherry-picking a fragment of a text message to a friend out of 500 gigabytes of text and email messages provided. The best that they could muster was a single frustrated email to a friend following Mr. Depp's assertion that he actually could never harm her. I am admittedly too blank in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. Isn't that a beautiful call out? Now, something I found interesting in that statement was the mention of 500 gigabytes, the mention of cherry-picking text. It made me wonder where all of that came from. Well, apparently, Johnny Depp's former legal team, quote-unquote, accidentally disclosed 70,000 text messages to the defendant talking about the Sun there. I don't know how you make a mistake like that. I do understand how you become the former legal team when that happened. Now, typically in videos, I do not enjoy scrolling through an article, but I want to make a point with this. I want you to remember what that claim was by the Sun, the thing that's going to get them in trouble, and I want you to look at their smoking guns as they were. And you tell me here, is this just unhealthy relationship personified? That seems to be the understatement of the year. Or is this proof of physicality? Because that is what the Sun is claiming. So you can see Johnny Depp sent messages during his relationship too, saying he would, let's say, use water, then use fire, then, he's going to do some unpleasantries to make that stuff stay. In a message in 2013, detailing that further, again, using fire, notes the person there. Then he says, we need to utilize water before we used fire. And then, like I said, many, many unpleasantries to make sure that took root. Man, I tell you, I'm getting a little bit better at this censor thing, but it's a sad world when you can't actually note that because it's advertiser unfriendly. You know, the same advertisers that kick the man out of job and career. But anyway, continuing on. This is also supposed to be proof, but I want you to focus here too when we get to this portion right here, because this is what the team for Johnny Depp says is a statement saying, I would never do anything bad, no physicality. I'm going to properly stop the booze thing, darling. Drank all night before I picked up Amber up to fly to L.A. this past Sunday. Ugly, mate. No food for days. Powders. Half a bottle of whiskey. 1,000 Red Bulls and vodka. Pills. 2 bottles of Champer on the plane. And what do you get? An angry aggro engine in a blackout. Screaming obscenities and insulting any who got near. I'm done. Then this statement, like I said, I am admittedly too in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. For little reason as well, I'm too old to be that guy. Now, the lawyer for the Sun basically says the significance in that message there is that it proves that Johnny Depp, he isn't trustworthy. I mean, you have AH making, we're going to say, physical claims. You can see all of that stuff there, throwing a boot and so on, before Johnny Depp actually passes out on a toilet. He claims, hey, you cherry pick all of this stuff, and that allowed you a headline to basically try to destroy my life and career. Now, as far as the Sun goes, that's probably their best defense for writing up an article like that, because if you look at the other items that they throw in, yeah, these are flimsy at best. You have their lawyer, for example, citing a text message from Depp to AH in March of 2013 in an area that she claims he did all of these terrible physical things over a painting, and in his text message, he refers to the evening in question as a quote-unquote disco bloodbath and horrendous moment. So, using colorful language there and saying, hey, this is a terrible night, yeah, that supposedly means that they went further. He also refers to texts sent by Mr. Depp's nurse during a 2014 detox trip to the Bahamas, in which she says this, I mean, pay attention to here, manic, full-on flipped out, and said that he was angry with everyone, but mostly himself. So apparently, being angry with yourself, being angry with everyone else, being manic, flipping out there because he's detoxing, trying to leave all of this, and he has quite the prolific substance abuse record, yeah, that's supposed to mean something in it. We also know the person that's involved there, too, the type of stories that they've thrown out about being innocent in all of this, and well, what the reality was behind the scenes when certain recordings came out. Now, there are a lot of things housed within that recording, too, but what you really learn from it is that the media's darling, the one that they default to because, oh my God, has to be this in current year, yeah, that person is the aggressor. You can hear that Depp bring this stuff up, saying, hey, you did this stuff to me, and after you did it, I text Travis, and I said, hey, come up here and get me. Now, she responds to that by saying, I know, come here and save me. Mocking him. Continue. Travis to the rescue. Now, he, of course, responds saying, come what? Save me. That's the last one. You can go. So you see a lot of stuff like that in there. But there's a lot of things that she admits to, where she does a lot of physical stuff, calling him a baby and all kinds of other things because he doesn't want to deal with it. It's absolutely amazing, the entitlement, and of course, again, how this reality sits. Now, what's interesting is Amber Heard, there are other relationships out there too, in which she has quite the colorful history. But again, the media, they decided to ignore that because when you look at the people here, apparently the person on the left, more appropriately, the guy on the left, yeah, that's all it takes to make him the bad guy. But anyway, you tell me what you think about this stuff. What do you think about the lawsuit? And we'll see more of it playing out. March 23rd, we'll have 10 days of a testimony and on. It will be quite the show, I'm sure. Also, ending this, I want to say thank you for showing showing up. Thank you for participating. You make this stuff possible. Not enough people say that. I say this all the time too. Don't want to monopolize your time in saying it, but I do want to thank you for making this stuff work. If you like this channel, you'll want to subscribe to it and share videos. That is definitely appreciated. But you, again, just being here, that stuff, it makes everything work. So anyway, I'll end here saying again, thank you. Appreciate you. We'll do this again soon. So if you want to check it out, definitely do so.